All right, so we're just loading up YouTube here. There you go. Okay, so we're live on YouTube, and I'll show you the actual link to this as well. Here is the video for, because a lot of you guys ask about the recording afterwards. So here's the link to the recording. I'm going to send this out to everyone here, so you'll have it in your chat. And basically, if you go to our channel, you can search us. You can search for us, Lumiwealth and YouTube, right? Lumiwealth, right? Okay, and you'll see that this video here says it's live now. So if you go to our YouTube channel right now, you'll see that we're live. This video will later on turn into a recording, so you'll be able to watch this video again afterwards, right? While you're on our YouTube channel, make sure you also like and subscribe us and hit the ring button to make sure you get all our latest updates, because we do put out a lot of these types of things. We have lots of new courses coming out. We have lots of free material, lots and lots of goodies on here. If you're interested in the space of algorithms and investing, and we're actually doing a lot of crypto and blockchain stuff lately as well. If you're interested in that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to us so that you get all those latest updates with lots of free stuff, right? Okay, so welcome to the webinar, guys. This is our agenda for today. So basically, I'm going to get to know you guys first a little bit, kind of get to know who's on the call here. We're going to do a quick introduction to Lumiwealth, myself, and the business, right? We're going to talk about algorithmic trading, why it matters. Then we're going to go into the code, right? Show you some of the code, show you some of the stuff working. I have a pre-recorded video for you because, you know, it's not trading hours right now. So I could show you basically what it looked like during trading hours. And we'll go over the course as well. So if you guys are interested in taking the course, we'll go over that. So you guys will learn about kind of all the details there, all right? So that's our agenda. So first of all, let's get to know you guys, right? So if you guys could type into the chat, right? So basically there's a chat button in your Zoom bar. If you click on that, if you could answer these 3 questions, so we can get to know who you are, and I can tailor this a little bit towards you, what is your occupation? Do you know how to code, right? Do you know how to program? And how much investment experience do you have, right? So I can tell you for myself, I'm CEO of Lumiwealth, so that's my occupation. Do a lot of development work as well still, right? Do I know how to code? Yes, I do. I've been coding for almost 25 years now. It's been quite a while. And how much investment experience do you have? I started investing around 2007, 2006. So it's been, 15 plus years, right, that I've been doing this. So definitely got a little bit of experience under my belt there. All right, so Brett is writing in. So you're a regional purchaser at a wholesaler and no coding experience. Okay. So just to let you know, that's no problem. This course, if you don't know how to code, we will teach you how to code throughout this course as well. So you don't feel like you need to have that coding experience, right? This is our introductory course, the Algorithmic Trading, that will basically teach you everything from scratch, everything about everything that you need to know about coding, everything that you need to know about how to connect to the markets and actually start building your own algorithms. I've had a lot of people go through this course, started off 0 coding experience, ended up with their own bots and they're trading and doing some really cool stuff, right? So don't feel like you need to have that software programming experience. Right, Austin, so you're a software engineer. You have 1 year of investment experience. Awesome. Welcome, Austin. For you as well, if you're if you have if you're a software engineer and if you're familiar with Python, we also have a couple other courses as well that are a little more advanced if you'd like to even take part in those, like our options trading course, our machine learning course, and soon to be, we're going to have a crypto trading course as well on how to create your own crypto trading robots. So if you are a software engineer, then we have several different courses available for you. Right? Cool. Okay, awesome. So let's talk about, let's do a little introduction here. Thanks, guys. And I'll keep an eye out for anyone else who wants to write in. By the way, for those of you that are just joining, if you could type into the chat, what is your occupation? Do you know how to code? And how much investment experience you have? You can write that into the chat so we can get to know you a little bit. Right? But moving on, you guys can keep writing that out, but I'll do a little introduction here. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about myself, right? Who I am. I'm the CEO of Lumiwealth, right? We've been running this company for about a little over 2 years now. Definitely has grown quite a bit. We've really built a lot of really cool stuff over the years. Before that, I've been coding for maybe about 25 years now. I was 12 years old when I started. It's been a long time, right? And basically, after that, coded for a very long time, went to business school, and then went to do my master's in finance. So I have a master's degree in finance, so a lot of the academic side as well. After that, I started a startup with some friends. We ended up selling it for a little over $1 million. So it was a nice little first company to do. That was a fun experience. After selling that company, decided to move to New York City and worked on Wall Street, where I first worked at a company called Greystone, which is a mortgage lender. These guys do like $10 billion in mortgages per year, and large like commercial mortgages. The average is like $15 million per mortgage. So when I was there, I was working pretty much directly with the CEO and the executive team, and basically helped build their software team, right? So was responsible for hiring people, was responsible for deciding kind of like what we're working on, and also organizing the team and making sure that we're building this thing properly. So we built out some software, kind of took this company to the 21st century, as we used to say, and built some software to really make the whole lending process a lot easier. Involved a lot of machine learning to figure out, how do we value a mortgage? What was the value of this house? All that sort of fun stuff. To date, I believe that software that we built, I think has done probably 60 or $70 billion in mortgages. So definitely feel pretty good about that one. After that company, I went over to a startup called Voyager. At the time, it was 4 of us in a room. I was employee number 4. We were in a WeWork, and basically it was just a whiteboard and an idea, right, and some funding, right. But we built out this company, and basically what it is it's a competitor to Coinbase, right? So it's a crypto broker, right, where you could trade Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that kind of stuff through an iPhone app. That app now, which is amazing, it's incredible how much it's grown. It's worth, I think, about $3 billion now. It's worth on the stock market. So definitely made me a nice chunk of change. And a lot of people actually stayed there, maybe even more, which is crazy. I think pretty much every single person who works there is a multimillionaire, but several times over. So definitely made a good chunk of change off that one. And then that basically gave me the latitude to really work on the thing that I'm most passionate about, and hopefully you guys are too, which is using software to help people invest better, right? I'm a huge proponent of this. I very strongly believe that the future of investing is heavily, heavily tied to computers. Computers are faster, smarter, have more data. There's a lot of advantages to them in the investing world. And that's not even including all this new stuff that's happening in blockchain, where not only can you have the intelligence to invest properly, but you could also create these new types of assets that are international and very innovative in itself, right? So that's really what Lumiwealth is about. It's about that spirit of using software to help in the investing world, to help make better investing decisions, and help make better assets. Now we're getting to the blockchain space as well, and really to use this software to help investors make more money. That's what we're all about here in Lumiwealth, right? So that's myself, that's the company. Let me know if you have any questions around that. Feel free to type your questions into the chat. I have a little note down here. Don't wait to ask questions till the end of the presentation. Feel free to ask throughout. It's really nice when this becomes a dialogue and you guys ask questions. We can talk back and forth. That's what the whole point of this is. It's live, right? There's not a recording. So you can ask those questions and all that sort of thing. And then before we move on, I want to introduce you guys. I already spoke about this a little earlier, but I'm going to send out the link again to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you check us out on YouTube, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. We release, like I said, a lot of free things on there. And this recording itself will be on YouTube afterwards, so you can rewatch it if you would like to and see kind of what happened, right? Another really great resource for you guys, if you want to get into this sort of space, is our Discord channel. We have, and again, I'm posting that into the chat so you guys can click on it. Discord, for those of you that don't know, is basically like a chat type thing, right? So here we have We have a lot of discussions going on here. There's a lot of very smart people on this chat group, including our current, future, and past students, right? So if you want to get to know the community, you want to get to know some of our existing students, ask them questions about their bots or whatever, feel free to ask on this channel. You could also participate in a lot of different discussions. We have a channel for crypto, channel for stocks, channel for machine learning. We have lots and lots of people on here. So if you're interested in the space, this is definitely a great resource for you. If you were to join one of our courses, you also get access to these locked channels. Notice there's a little lock next to these, right? These are all of our locked channels that we also have for our members only, including one here, which is our discussion hour. Actually going to be on this in 2 hours from now. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday, where basically all of our students get on board and we discuss, trading ideas, and we discuss different ways that we use software to make money. We have a lot of really good discussions about crypto lately, which is kind of what got us into this whole crypto space. We made a brand new course recently. I don't know if you guys saw it. But basically we have a blockchain programming course coming up as well, which is going to be very cool. But yeah, so there's lots and lots of good stuff to check out there. Definitely join us on Discord. I think you'll very much appreciate it with the amount of talent and smart people on there. Right. Okay, cool. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about algorithmic trading, right? So what is it? Why do we care, right? So first of all, algorithmic trading is basically using software to analyze data and to make trades, okay? So but that's very important there, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be placing these trades automatically. Some people opt to have just the analysis and then and then they want to place the trades manually. That's perfectly fine, right? There are some institutions that do that, right? In the course, we teach you how to do the whole thing, right? We'll teach you the whole data science part of it, where you can do your research on your stocks or your futures or your cryptos or whatever it is that you're looking to trade, right? We'll show you how to download data for it, how to use that data in something called Pandas, which basically helps you analyze it, and will help you make much better decisions, right? That's going to be a big part of the course. The other part of the course is actually just trading for you, right? So this is definitely is the way that I'd like to trade, right? I'd rather handle everything for me, do all the analysis, and then come up with the right trading decisions, and then basically trade for me automatically, right? So that's what trading algorithms basically are, right? It's using software to analyze your investments and then to actually place these trades for you and buy and sell things automatically. Okay. So why do we care about this? Why is this something that matters? Well, besides the fact that, it makes your life easier, right? It's faster. You can read, thousands of times more news articles than any human being could possibly do it. It could respond to things much quicker than any person could. If you think about, a trading algorithm that we're actually working on right now is following influencers, right? So imagine whenever Elon Musk tweets, Bitcoin moves, whatever stock he's talking about tends to move. You saw that with Tesla, you saw that with Bitcoin, you saw that with Dogecoin, right? So obviously these influencers make a big impact. The only problem is that you don't hear about it until the impact has already happened, right? So we're building an algorithm that could basically listen in to what they're saying and you could be one of the first ones in there and actually make that profit. And actually, so a lot of our students have made things like that and have been doing quite well from it, right? So yeah, so it's faster. You can read more information, right? You don't have to be in front of your computer all day long, plugging away, researching things. It really makes your life quite a bit easier and makes you more profitable at the end of the day, right? But don't take my word for it, right? There's a lot of companies that are doing this sort of thing, right? Like for example, Renaissance Technologies is probably one of the most famous ones. There's a great book called about Jim Simmons. There's the man who solved the market, right? And I'll send this to you guys. This is a fascinating book. I'll go Amazon.com. It's a fascinating book. I'm going to put this in the chat as well. I think you guys will love this one. I was actually on the phone with someone very recently and said how much they loved it. But basically, this book is about this guy, Jim Simmons, who was a mathematician back in like the 60s or 70s. And he basically came up with the idea is like, what if we could use math to trade for us automatically, right? This is back long time ago when, you know, it was quite a bit more complex to do this sort of thing. It's a lot easier to do now. But basically, they started a hedge fund that's exactly what it did. It used software to place trades for them automatically, and they're using lots of mathematics to figure this stuff out, right? It's a fascinating book, basically about how they started it. Took them a while to figure it out, that sort of thing. By the end of it, these guys are basically have a bank machine in their house, pretty much. They're like buying houses, forgetting they even existed. It's like they did such a ridiculous amount of money. It's just crazy to hear the story. And this is it's a very good book. I'd highly recommend if you guys are interested in this topic, that you read this book. It's a fascinating read. So let's talk about kind of, you know, what the statistics behind this is, right? So these guys, last time I checked, manage about $110 billion. I think it's probably a little bit more than that now. This was about a year ago, right? They've generated 39% on average returns in the stock market per year, every year for 30 years straight. And out of those 30 years, and keep in mind, 30 years, it was 2008. There was the crash last year. There was the tech bubble that burst, right? There's lots and lots of things that happened that were quite bad. Despite all those things, they're still making 39%. And I believe they only lost money one quarter ever in the entire life of this fund, right? So imagine that. Imagine making 40% a year, year in, year out, without ever losing money, pretty much, right? And let's put that into perspective, right? So the stock market, you know, stock market does quite well. You put your money to the stock market, you know, you'll end up with a good amount of money at the end of the day. Everyone recommends it. That's why you guys are here, right? If you put it at, you know, it's 10% is average return for the stock market, right? We've just had a great year, but this is not a typical year, right? If you go over a longer period of time, it starts to even out because you have your ups and your downs, right? But basically over the long run, it's about 10% a year. If you put $1,000 at 10% a year, you would get $17,000 after 30 years, right? About 17,500-ish, right? Pretty good return, $1,000 into 17,000. It's not bad, right? If you were this Renaissance fund, if you're Jim Simmons, at 39%, that $1,000 would turn into 19.5 million. That is one heck of a difference, which is exactly why these guys are so ridiculously rich. If you read the book, these guys are all millionaires many times over. And it's exactly because of this, right? The compound difference between those two returns, even going from 10% to 15%, you'll more than double your money. But going from 10% to 39% a year, you'll be absolutely spectacularly rich, right? And I'm not saying we could all do that because these guys are like the best guys in a room. They're doing amazing in this space, right? Maybe if you're in crypto, you might be able to hit returns better than that, right? On a regular basis. But keep in mind, this is over a long 30-year period, including the years when everything is down, right? They're still making money even when things are down, right? So, so that's Renaissance. Absolutely incredible what they're doing, right? But they're not the only ones. There's a lot of other companies that do this too, right? They're all very successful in their own right. So Two Sigma is another one. They do this algorithmic trading stuff as well. I actually met some people from there a while back in New York. Very smart people. They regularly beat the stock market. I think they on average double the stock market's returns, right? And without taking on crazy risk, right? Citadel also does very well. These guys, they do a lot of the high frequency trading stuff. They're market makers. They make quite a bit of money. They manage about $32 billion in assets. Then we have Bridgewater, which is basically Ray Dalio's company. If you guys ever heard of Ray Dalio, he's been in the news a lot lately. Very famous investor, one of the best investors in the world. They use a lot of data science. They have a lot of data in their servers that they're using to make this analysis and figure out how to trade, right? So they're using a lot of this data in their trading, right? And then another one, which is really fun. This one's D.E. Shaw. And can anyone tell me who used to work at D.E. Shaw? There's a nice, good history here. Someone famous used to work at this company. You guys definitely know who this person is. I'll give you guys a second to think about it. All right, no takers? Actually, it's funny enough, I posted a link in the chat from the company that he started just right before this. So the founder of Amazon.com, Jeff Bezos, used to actually work at D.E. Shaw, right? So he was one of the early employees there, helped build this hedge fund. It's a really big hedge fund now, manages $50 billion, probably actually even more by now. And Jeff Bezos used to work there. He used to actually help build out these algorithms. And when he was at D.E. Shaw, he actually spent a lot of time analyzing stocks and working with data and that sort of thing. And that's where he actually got the idea for Amazon, right? Because he was looking through he's doing a lot of data science at this company, D.E. Shaw, and found these companies in the internet are growing quite quickly. He saw the data behind how quickly the internet is growing, and that's what gave him the idea for Amazon. That's when he left D.E. Shaw, started Amazon, and the rest is history, right? So you're definitely in very good company when you're building out these types of algorithms, and very good company when you're using data to analyze your investments, right? Some very, very successful people, right? If you want to see some of our returns, I feel like I need to take a new screenshot, but this was last year, right? This is our trading returns. When the stock market was only up 17%, right? The S&P was up 17% over this time period. This was last year. We ended up making 53%, right? So we pretty much tripled the returns for the market last year, right? This year, we're also doing very well. I just need to get some new screenshots up here. Yeah, so last year, even when the market was down, we were still making quite a bit of money, right? So definitely a good success record, I'd say. I need to add more to that at some point. Yeah. Then we also have some code that I could show you here. We just made a brand new documentation for those of you guys that do a lot of coding. This is Lumiwealth. This is a open source library that we created to help make algorithmic trading a lot easier for you. We just updated our docs quite a bit. So if you're interested in reading about how our technology works, you can go ahead and read through all this stuff here. We have a pretty extensive documentation. We're still adding more to it, but you can learn a lot about how our technology works from here. You can also access, there's a brand new form we just got up. If you ever have any questions, you're more than welcome to post here, right? But yeah, feel free to check that out for those of you that do have that coding experience. It's a library that we built, and it's a library that we're constantly in development, and we're actually, to let you know kind of the future of this company, what we're planning to do is take this code, this open source library, and create a website where you can upload your code to, and you will actually pay you for your algorithms, right? So we'll have people that can come in that can buy algorithms. We want to make it like a marketplace, right? People can come in and buy algorithms and invest in them. And then if you're the one that created the algorithm, we will pay you for having that algorithm up on our website, right? So that's kind of where we're taking that whole thing, right? So you graduating from this course in the long run might actually make you quite a bit of profit, not just from your own investments, but from being able to sell this thing on our marketplace, right? That's what we're going towards. Okay, cool. So any questions so far, guys? We covered a decent amount of ground. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little pre-recorded video for you here. This was recorded. Oh, we got a chat here. Love the learning process. Awesome. Thanks, Marcus. It's great. Okay, so this is a demo that I recorded a couple weeks ago during when the market was open, right? The reason I would show you guys, we used to do this live all the time, but after COVID kind of ended, people are back in the office now. It's hard to do these types of webinars during the daytime because people work. So this is pre-recorded from when the markets were open, and it's showing off a couple of our algorithms, right? There's actually even a few more that I can show you if you guys are interested. I could show you a couple of the back testing results and all that. We can't live trade right now, but I could show you the results of them, how they would have performed over a time period. It's a process called back testing. I could show you some of that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video for you here so that you guys can see a couple of these bots in action and seeing them actually do their thing, trade back and forth and all that sort of stuff, right? Okay, so I'm going to play the video. While I'm playing this video, if you guys have any questions, I could also answer your chats and all that while the video is going, right? Okay, so let me press play here. Okay, so let's get into the demo. All right. So this is, I'm going to show you a couple different trading strategies that we show you, first of all, in the courses, and that you can employ yourself. It's pretty easy for you to get these up and running. I've had people that have never coded a day in their lives and have these strategies running within just a few weeks. Yeah, so, you know, even if you don't know how to code, don't feel like you have to shy away from this, whatever. I'm going to be showing you a bunch of code here, but really it's not that difficult to learn. We've been able to teach a lot of people that have never coded before in their lives, right? Okay, so here, let's show you a demo of some of our different trading strategies. Okay. So there's a couple I want to show you today. We have some new ones, like I was saying. Okay. So I want to show you, first of all, our fast trading strategy, just because a lot of people, whenever they think algo trading, they want to be able to trade really quickly, get in and out of things very fast, and analyze a lot of things. So what I'm doing here is I'm running this fast trading strategy. You see here, we go into our broker. It was nothing, and now it bought a whole bunch of stuff automatically by itself. Okay. And let me describe to you essentially what this strategy is doing. Okay. Here is the code. The code is fairly straightforward. It's not that long, right? So it looks like, you know, 160 lines of code, but a lot of it is boilerplate stuff, and a lot of it is like, you know, kind of just tracking things and whatnot. It's very easy for you guys to get something like this up and running. Essentially what it does is it looks at these symbols here, right? SPY, gold, TLT, Microsoft, Tesla, etc. Right? We're looking at all those symbols and basically saying which one has done the best over the past 1 minute, right? And whichever one did the best, you know, has had a momentum, the best momentum, it keeps the top four, okay? And it'll keep swapping them out. So if we watch this here, we see the top four we have right now is TLT, XPXS, XPXL, and MCHI. Those are best over 1 minute. You see that just swapped. We just bought some gold. So it sold TLT and bought gold. Okay. And if we leave this running, you'll see, basically you'll do this all day long, right? You don't have to be in front of your computer. You could have this thing running in the cloud. You could have this thing running off your computer. It'll just keep trading for you all day long, right? Now, this is a strategy that, you know, follows momentum, but you could just as easily do a lot of other things with this, right? You could use technical analysis for this, right? I know a lot of people like looking at charts and support resistance, that sort of thing. You could use that, right? You could use things like RSI or pivot points or VWAP, right? You could use all those types of things to influence which stocks you want to own and have like a, you know, we have our top 10 stocks, and based on our criteria, we keep the top four, and you can trade throughout the day doing that sort of thing. So this is very flexible. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this. And this is just a demo to kind of show you, you know, this fast trading, how it moves in and out. If we give it another minute, it should actually flip things around. We'll give it, yeah, so it executes once every minute. We give it a little bit more time, it'll swap things out. Oh, there you go. Okay, it just did that. So it sold the gold. Remember, you guys saw the gold. It sold that, and it sold our MCHI. So we sold two of those things. And it bought SPY and it bought Microsoft, right? And that's because those have been the ones that are doing the best over the past minute, and just kind of hold on to them, right? It's just a simple momentum strategy. But like I said, there's a lot of other things that you can convert this into. Use any kind of technical analysis you want, or any kind of criteria that you want to do this sort of trading, right? This is something I'll be like throughout the day, intraday, quickly getting in and out of things, right? All right, okay, so that's our fast trading strategy. Let's show you our technical analysis strategy, right? Because this one is, we could basically take what we did in the last one, yeah, and we can do the same thing, or we could use essentially, you know, what we did in the last one. We could apply this sort of stuff for technical analysis type of stuff, right? So what this one does is it's, sorry, there's a question here on chat. I want to do trading, day trading will help me with that. Yes, absolutely, will help you with day trading. Yeah. So the last strategy that I just showed you, the fast trading, is very well suited for day trading, right? So what you would do is you would take something like that and combine it with maybe a technical, it depends on how you trade, right? If you trade, you know, support resistance, if you trade using VWAP, if you trade using some sort of technical analysis, RSIs or Bollinger Bands or whatever, we could implement all that kind of stuff, right? So here is a technical analysis strategy. This one,
This one trades a little slower, but you can mix the two together, right? You can make it so that the last one that we had takes the top 4 stocks, right? This one, what it does is it trades based off of RSI, right? So it looks at the RSI of SPY, right? And if RSI falls below 33, okay, so it's looking at the RSI for SPY, and it has 2 stocks that it trades, okay? It has SPY and TLT, okay? It has the 2 of them, okay? And they're normally 60-40, which is kind of like what investment advisors recommend, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, right? But when the RSI gets too high on SPY, which means kind of like it's overbought, right, is what we call it with RSI terms. When it's overbought, then we say, okay, let's get out of SPY and only buy TLT. So we sell our SPY, go 100% to TLT. And then the opposite situation, when SPY falls too much and RSI is low, then we will sell all of our TLT and only buy SPY, right? So it's changing weightings in our stocks based off of this criteria of a technical analysis, right? Technical indicator, okay? So if we see it trading right now, you'll see it bought 60-40 SPY, so 60% of money of 50,000 is put into SPY automatically, right? And TLT, the other 20,000, right? The other 40%, okay? If this is a time when SPY was too high, it would automatically sell SPY and get into TLT. Or if the opposite happened, if SPY fell a lot, it will do the flip as well. You could do this much faster. You could do this with many stocks throughout the day. And you can use a lot of other types of technical analysis as well. So we use this library, right? You could use Bollinger Bands, right? You could use, some of these things I don't even know what they are. Average true range, you could use that. Bollinger Bands, you could use moving averages, crossing, you could use MACD, all sorts of different things that you could use to trade with. RSI, stochastic RSI, right? Lots and lots of different things that you could use to trade. And you can trade throughout the day, buying and selling things automatically based on your criteria, right? You don't have to be at your computer. You don't have to be paying attention to it. You can set up stop losses automatically, all that kind of stuff. You can get through the bot, right? Okay, so that's our technical analysis strategy, right? Okay, I'm going to show you some cool new ones that we just made, right? So this is one that I think will probably resonate with a lot of you guys. This is a really fun one that we actually just created, and I'm actually in the process of testing exactly how well it does, but it is definitely a very interesting strategy. Not the right, yeah, we're gonna get out of this. So this is a strategy that we call Reddit sentiment, okay? You get access to this strategy. If you join our classes, you get access to this strategy within our classes, right? We'll give this to you. You can use this, you can modify this. It's part of our library of different algorithms, right? Okay, so let me run this one here, okay? And let me explain to you kind of what it's doing, all right? So this strategy, what it does is it goes to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wall Street bets. I feel like this has blown up in popularity recently. And of course, you guys, if you guys follow this sort of thing or know about this sort of thing, it's been influencing a lot of stocks lately, right? The increases in GameStop was because of this channel on Reddit. Basically, I think it's now, when I last checked, there's 1 million, but someone told me there's 4 million people on here. Everyone's discussing stocks, talking about, what to buy, what to sell, that sort of thing. And it actually has quite a bit of predictive power where, GameStop shot up a lot because of what happened on Wall Street bets. There's some people that got going and basically went through the roof, right? GameStop, AMC was another one that's like a big, we call it meme stock or Wall Street bet stock. And there's a few other ones that are happening more recently, like Wish, and a few other ones that maybe you guys have missed out on. But if you had this bot that we've built out here, you won't have to, right? So what it does is it automatically downloads the hot topics within Wall Street bets, right? Downloads, you could specify exactly how much you want to download, right? And then it looks over all of those topics, reads all the comments, and uses some artificial intelligence, uses a bit of machine learning type stuff to figure out which stocks have the best sentiment, okay? And sentiment being whether people are saying they like them or not, right? I hate Wish, or I love Wish, or I think Wish is going to the moon, right? It's going to read all those comments and tell you which stocks are, first of all, talked about the most and which ones have the best sentiment. So we see here, Apple, for example, does not have a very good sentiment. It's widely talked about. People don't seem to like it on Wall Street Bets right now. Ones that they do like is this one here, 0.43 Wish. This one's been a hot topic for a while. If you look at the stock charts, by the way, it's gone up a lot. It's doubled over the past week or two, right? So that sentiment is high up there. We have GOEV. I don't even know what that is. This is talking about, people are talking about this on Wall Street Bets. But in either case, what it did is automatically read all that kind of stuff and then bought the top ones for you, right? So let's take a look here. Boom. These are all the top stocks on Wall Street Bets, right? It will automatically hold on to these and read actually these comments throughout the day and throughout the week. So you could have this running in a server, running on your computer. It will automatically buy, in this case, the top 4 stocks that are talked about on Wall Street Bets. Not only the ones that are the most popular, but also the ones that people have the best sentiment for, that people say they really like. Look at that. We just bought them and all of a sudden our money is already starting to go up. It's kind of fun to watch. Yeah, so this is a very interesting strategy. We're going to be actually testing this over the next little bit, and I'm thinking about putting some of our own funds money into this as well. All right, so look at that. We literally just bought it, and look at what happened to our stock price. Like it's literally within a minute, it's shooting up like crazy, right? And what this strategy will do is it'll just keep reading this all day long, right? And see, has it changed, right? If sentiments have changed, it will get rid of it, right? Or if sentiments have gone up for one, it will buy it, right? So automatically be doing this stuff all day long, right? Definitely really cool. It's amazing how fast it's going up. So we have a question here. I have no coding experience. Will this program sync it to my trading platform and auto execute the trades? It depends what trading platform you use, right? So if you have no coding experience, I wouldn't be too worried about it. We have a lot of people in our classes with no coding experience, and they've all been able to get bots up and running. So I wouldn't be too surprised about that. I wouldn't be too worried about that, right? Whether it links with your trading platform, it depends on what trading platform you're using, right? We have 2 brokers that we work with right off the bat. Yeah, so we use Alpaca, we use Interactive Brokers, and we're going to be adding in TradeStation soon. That's the next one that we're adding in. So if you use TradeStation, we'll probably have this built in within the next like 2 months, right? So we are definitely going to be adding that in soon, right? So for Thinkorswim, they don't have API access. They have API access to something called TD Ameritrade. They don't give you access to the Thinkorswim platform. It's kind of a little weird there. So we recommend actually, if you want to do like algo trading, TD Ameritrade is really not the best, right? They don't allow you to do paper trading, that sort of thing. And to be honest with you, it's really easy to switch brokers, right? Like to open up an account with Alpaca, like honestly, I think you can do this within 5 minutes, right? It's really easy to do that. So we work with them, we work with Interactive Brokers. We're going to be adding in TradeStation very soon, and then we're going to keep adding in more and more as we go. So you definitely have a lot of options there. This is amazing. Look at this. We literally just bought this and we're already making like a bunch of money. The stock chart just shooting straight up. Yeah, changing brokers. Yeah, I agree with you, right? Changing brokers is not very difficult. It's really easy to do that. I really like TradeStation. They have great APIs, so we're going to be working with them soon. They also have crypto. They have futures. They have a lot of other stuff. So TradeStation's a really good one that we're going to be adding in. It's amazing, guys. I got to start running my own money in this strategy. We literally just built this like 2 days ago, so we're still testing it out. But it's amazing. Look at this. Literally, in the course of this conversation, we've already made what, like $300 or something like that. It's just in the course of our talking right now. Cool strategy, right? So that's our Reddit trading strategy. If you have no coding experience, really not that hard for you guys to get this up and running. It's part of our code library, so you can actually start off with this. You can modify it however you want. You don't have to be an expert programmer to do this stuff, guys. You don't have to be some like whiz kid, because we give you a lot of these templates they can start off with, right? Okay, cool. So that's a Reddit sentiment. I'm going to show you one more. That one actually is really cool. I gotta run that one. I'm going to do that after this. I'm going to run in the cloud and have it go for a few days, test it out for a couple of days, because that's pretty impressive how well it did that quickly. Like I said, we just built this one like 2 days ago. Another one I want to show you guys, and this is one that we actually just put a bunch of our money into. I really like this strategy, and I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why through a back test, okay? So we teach you not only how to build the bots, we also teach you how to do the research behind it, as to, you know, how are you going to be picking a strategy? Is this a good strategy for you to do or not? right? How do you find these strategies? And this is one way they can figure out whether a strategy is good for you or not, okay? What I'm doing right now is I'm running a back test, okay? So there's a back test for a strategy that we call diversified leverage, okay? And basically what we're doing is we're going from 2012, right? We're doing this because some of these ticker symbols didn't exist until 2012. From 2012 until 2021, so 9 years, okay? And we're seeing how would our strategy have done over the past 9 years? What kind of results would we have gotten, right? So the strategy in particular, the one that we're doing, is called this diversified leverage strategy, okay? And basically what it is this is like modern portfolio theory, right? If you talk to someone like a Ray Dalio, or you talk to like some of the most prominent investors in the world, they'll tell you diversify well. And the reason why you diversify well is because you want to make sure that you reduce your risk. If you reduce your risk, you can take on more, you can actually take on more risk and make more money, right? Essentially. So what this is we have a bunch of different ticker symbols we're in here. We're in the leveraged NASDAQ, so TQQQ, right? So it's the triple NASDAQ, right? So 3x the returns of the NASDAQ. If you look at the stock chart on this thing, it's wild. It's like up 1,600% in 2 years or something like that. It's crazy, right? But of course, also has its risks. There's a downside as well, right? So we want to protect against that. So we have 20% of our money into that, 10% of our money into UPRO, which is the leveraged S&P 500, 3x leveraged. Then we have 10% of our money into UDOW, which is a leveraged Dow Jones. Then we have 10% of our money in emerging markets, right? Leveraged emerging markets, right? 35% of our money in leveraged treasury bonds. So now we diversify, right? So we have in total 50% of our money in stocks, right? In leveraged stocks, right? And diversified around the world a little bit, right? And then we have the rest of our money in something to counterbalance that, right? To reduce our risks, to give us some good hedging, and to improve our returns without taking on too much risk, right? So we do that by having leveraged treasury bonds. So usually when stocks fall, treasuries go up and vice versa. So they're a really good hedge to have in a portfolio. We also have Barclays VIX, right? This is an interesting one. Basically, you lose money regularly, but when things fall apart, if like the stock market crashes, it'll go like up 5x. You'll make 500% of your money in like a day, right? And that's a really good hedge because if things fall, you want to be able to protect yourself, right? And we also have 5% of our money in gold. So this is one that actually I've put some of our money into, right? Not all, but some good chunk of our money into the strategy. And I'll tell you why, right? When we look at the back test, what we can see here is, look at this. So this strategy, okay, over that same time period, right? Over this 2012 to 2021, that 9 years there. So January 1st, 2012 to January 1st, 2021, right? So 9 years, yeah. Over that time period, the S&P 500 was up 17.5%, which is nice, right? If you're in this strategy, you would have made 28.9%. You would have almost doubled the stock market's returns, okay? Which is amazing, right? Like obviously that's, if you guys do the math behind this, this is the difference between when you retire, you could retire with $1 million versus 10 million, right? That's like the difference, right? Like it's a very, very large difference when you have double the stock market's returns. Huge payouts. This could be worth $9 million to you in the future. You know what I mean? This kind of differential, right? But okay, so it's great to have the higher returns. That's awesome, right? But we're not just talking about higher returns here. We're talking about higher returns while taking on the same amount or less risk, okay? So over that same time period, so we doubled the stock market's returns, but we also had only a little bit of increase in our volatility. It's not too much more volatile, meaning this up and down thing. And our max drawdown is almost exactly the same, right? So meaning from the peak to the bottom, right? This is in last year, right? March, 2020, stock market fell 30%. From the very top to the very bottom, it fell 33%, okay? If you were invested in this strategy, you would have also only lost about 33% at the same time period. So we have the same risk as the stock market, but we're making double the returns. That to me sounds incredibly impressive, right? Which is why we're putting some of our money into this, right? We diversify among different strategies. We don't put everything into one, but this was one when we're looking at 30% a year returns, sounds very appealing to me, right? So this one went ahead. When we go in here, you can see it automatically bought all these things for us, right? All the different ones. This would be a pain, by the way, to do on your own. And the key is that it doesn't just buy these, it rebalances. And that's the key here, right? because you'll have days like, for example, TQQQ will shoot up, you know, in a week's time, will shoot up 100% or something like that. When it shoots up 100%, you want to rebalance your portfolio and put money somewhere else. And that's how you actually get the safety along with the very good gains, right? It's intelligent portfolio construction, and that's how you end up making all the money. That's why having like a robot, they'll automatically look at the stuff and rebalance for you is really important, because that's how you're actually going to end up with these returns. You can't just go and buy them and that's it, right? You actually have to be rebalancing and trading them on a regular basis, right? So I very much like this strategy as well. We have our own money, like I said, in this as well. And so far been doing, you know, we've been making good money. So I'm happy with it so far. All right, cool. All right, so that's a couple of our strategies. You know, we showed you everything from our day trading, you know, to trading off of Reddit, to, you know, building intelligent portfolios. I have a few more that I can show you guys. We have a whole library, like I said, there's tons of different things. We have things where we trade off of like macroeconomic things where we use like the debt, where the Fed Reserve, that they take on debt, we trade off of that. We're building out a bunch of options trading strategies as well, which we're going to have a separate webinar to kind of explain a bunch of that stuff, where, you know, you can trade volatility and all that sort of thing. We have lots and lots of different strategies, and we just keep growing more and more of them. So if you guys join our courses, not only are we going to teach you how to do this stuff, but we're going to give you access to that big library. So you'll be able to either use it right out of the box, or, you know, modify it to do whatever you want it to do. You have access to that sort of stuff. All right. Cool. So that's the demo.
All right, guys. So what do you think about that? Any questions around this? There's a lot more that I could show you, by the way. I just realized since I recorded that, we've created quite a few new strategies, everything from options to futures to actually even having like some nice graphs to show you with some of them. I was talking about, this one's kind of fun to show. I was talking about our debt trading strategy. That's in here. Leverage index, diversification, technical analysis. It's not in there. You know, as you can see, we have lots and lots of code here. We have lots and lots of strategies they can go through. This is our debt trading strategy. Now I could run this one, for example. And this one, if we were to run our debt trading exactly, I can show you just a back test result, because obviously we can't trade it right now since the market is closed. I can show you a couple more if you guys are interested. I can actually show you some of the graphs, right? So here's the one that I mentioned in the video, the debt trading strategy. This basically trades off of macroeconomics, right? So it looks at the Federal Reserve, how much money it's spending, right? So it spent a lot in 2008, spent a lot more recently. There actually has a pretty strong correlation between the stock market and government spending. And you'll be able to see here, and I'll show you kind of the result of that. But in the meantime, I know you guys have, there's a chat in here. That was awesome. Makes sense. Awesome. Thanks, Marcus. Yeah, this is definitely really, really powerful stuff, right? Like if you think about it, pretty much anything that a human being can do in terms of trading, if you think that you can do a good job trading as a person, imagine what you could do with software code, right? You'll have a million times more information, literally, right? You could be literally looking at all the news articles in the world. You could be looking at all the Twitter feeds, all of Reddit. You could be listening to Discord and Telegram, everything that's going on there. You could be trading off of those things. You can back test a lot of your strategies to see whether they're a good idea or not, right? So it's not just saying, I think this is a good idea. My friend told me I should do this, or I read this. You could actually validate it and see how it would have done in the past, right? So it gives you a lot more confidence in doing this sort of stuff. There's a lot of things they could do. Yeah, it's exactly right, Marcus. Yeah, it takes the emotion out of trading, 100%. Yeah, you could diversify your portfolio more. It takes all the emotion out of it. And what I think is even beautiful, and we're working on kind of doing this sort of thing with ourselves as well, is when you have several of these different strategies, and when you have one, it works quite well. You'll make good money off that. But if you have several different strategies and they're all a little bit different from each other, then that's when you can like really diversify and you could really make a lot of money doing that sort of thing. That's what Renaissance does. That's what Two Sigma does. They have lots and lots and lots of these strategies. There are some strategies that work better when the market's going down, some strategies that work better when it's going up, some work better in penny stocks, some work better in crypto, right? So there's lots and lots of different algorithms that you can use. And if you have a few of them going, you actually could have a really, really, really good return on your portfolio with very low risk, right? Which is basically what Renaissance is doing. That's how they're getting that 40%. They have like 20, 30, 40 different algorithms running, and each one of them is making money in different ways, right? And you kind of just balance between all of them. So definitely really cool stuff. We've been making good money off it, I could tell you that much. We're also putting together this website so that we make it even easier for other people to invest. We're starting a hedge fund basically. So yeah, and if you guys want to be part of this, I think it'd be amazing to have you guys in the class. Do you also teach how to formulate strategies in your courses for non-finance background folks? Yes, absolutely. We cover that a lot. We go through a few different case studies, and we'll go over a lot of these different strategies so you could see kind of how to go through all that. Absolutely, yes. The first, and I'll show you this in a little bit. The first part of the course is it's teaching you kind of the basics of coding and all that. But then we very quickly get into data science, and we're very heavily focused on the finance side, so that you actually know how to trade this stuff, right? How to make money off it. So here's that one strategy. As another one that we were talking about, and I actually think it's much more effective showing you guys graphs. So here's that strategy. This is our debt trading strategy, and basically it trades off of the macroeconomics. So it's looking at like government spending and how much the government is spending and basically investing based off that. When we ran this, right, here's our back testing results. This gets about 40% a year in compound annual growth rate. That compares to stock market, which is 18%. It does take on a little bit more risk, right? So it's a little bit more volatile. Admittedly, there's more risk that you're taking on here, right? But this is, check out this graph, right? This is how that strategy performs. The blue line is the strategy itself, right? And these are all like the buy and sells, right, that happen. The blue line is the strategy itself. The red line is the S&P 500. Check that one out, right? I can show you some of the graphs of the other ones too. They're kind of similar. This one's a little bit more extreme. It does take on more risk, but as you can see, it also gives you very, very strong returns. And your risk-adjusted returns are actually quite good as well, right? So if you're looking at this right here, the risk-adjusted return, the Sharpe ratio is 1.23 versus stock market, which is 1.14. So you're actually still making better returns there too. All right, I can show you guys tons of these things. We have lots and lots and lots of them, but that's basically what we teach you in the course, right? We'll give you all that code so you could use it out of the box if you want to, right? You could just take this algorithm and just use it however you want. But then we also teach you how to modify it. We'll teach you how to make a lot of new types of strategies. And Austin, I believe you said that you had a programming experience, right? If I'm remembering this correctly. I'm just going to scroll up a bit here. Yeah, Austin, you're a software engineer. I could tell you a lot of the other software engineers that have gone through this course have built some really, really cool stuff. One of our past students, and he actually, I'm going to open this up. He's actually one of the people that left a review at the bottom. If you scroll to the bottom of the page, Santayan is right here. There we go. You could actually watch a video of him describing his algorithms and all that. This guy had a software background to begin with, so it made it even easier for him. It's not like you need a software background. You absolutely do not. But people that do tend to do really, really well in this class. And him, if you watch this video, he'll talk about this a little bit. But I know, I think he made something like 400% return in the past year. And he built like a bot that's watching influencers and trades off influencers and a few other things as well. But he's been doing really well. So if you have that software background, definitely come on board in the course, and I'll help you build out some really cool stuff. I love seeing our students build these cool things. It's awesome. Cool. Oh, wow, great to hear. Yeah, definitely 100%, Austin. Very, very cool stuff. And again, like I said, we're working on a website. We're working on basically building a hedge fund, right? So I love having people like yourself and others that are really passionate about this in the course. I want you guys to come out not just knowing how to build an algorithm, but I want you guys having like really good algorithms coming out, making lots of money. And then what we can do is we could take your algorithm, put it up on our hedge fund website, in the future, and we'll even pay you for that too. You know, love this whole dynamic, right? Anyways, let's talk about the course a little bit, right? So this course is starting soon. It's starting beginning in December, right? All of our courses have 3 different plans, okay? So there's a self-directed plan, which basically is just the recordings of the videos, right? You also get access to a little bit other of different content as well. We have like a beginner Python course that comes for free with it, and some other things that kind of like teach you how to use data science in this space. So you get access to all those like class recordings, right? Plus you get access to our community. So if you want to join, if you guys paid in the next hour, we can get you into our discussion hour for tonight, that's starting in an hour, where we talk about, you know, all things algorithmic trading and crypto as well. And basically we have lots of people in there that have really profitable strategies, and they're sharing kind of the ideas. There's people that are working on new strategies, and it's really kind of a great discussion there. So when you join that self-directed plan, you get access to that community, you get access to the video recordings, and you also get access to our library of code, right? So you can actually take those strategies and start using them, right? Then we have our live classes plan. So live classes are by far the most popular, right? The live classes are, they are basically, it's like live over Zoom, kind of like how we're talking right now, right? So basically, if we are, you know, if you have any questions during the class, you can ask any questions while we're going through the material. You get to meet other people in the class as well, so it becomes very communal. It's interesting. A lot of people end up like working on projects together. A lot of people, you know, they get a chance to present, and they get a lot of feedback from the group. It's really great having this live class. I find that people take the live class to do a lot better in our courses. And they end up having like really cool stuff that they build out at the end. So live classes option, definitely our most popular one. In the live classes, you also get access to all the course recordings, and you get access to our library of code and all that sort of stuff. Plus, if you ever, you know, and you know, life happens, right? Let's say you're taking our live classes. It's once a week for 12 weeks straight, right? Excluding holidays, right? Every week we meet for 12 weeks, and you'll sit down, we'll go through stuff together. If you're stuck anywhere, you can share your screen, and we'll make sure that you get through all this. There's a lot of hand holding involved in this. So to make sure that you guys can get through it. But then also, let's say, you know, life happens, you know, you have to move, or something happened with work or whatever, right? You can retake this course as many times as you want, right? And also, like, technology changes over time too. So we have some people that took this course about a year ago, and they're retaking not the whole thing, but some parts of it again now, because there's a lot of things that have been updated. A lot of things have changed, right? So when you join our live classes, you join us for life, right? You have access for life to the classes, to the recordings, to our library of code, right? You get access to all that stuff for life, right? Okay, so that's our live classes plan. Then we also have a project help and tutoring plan. And this is for those of you that really want that extra help. This is like our white glove service. If you need us to write code for you, we'll write code for you. We'll spend as much time as needed on the phone with you. If you need help with anything, we'll help you out with that. And really, it takes everything from those. You get access to live classes, you get access to the video library, you get access to the code library, all of that stuff. Plus, we'll spend lots and lots of time with you. And again, like I said, even if we need to sit down and write code, we will do that for you as well. All right, so that's the project help and tutoring plan, and it really gives you that extra edge and that extra help if you need it. All right. Okay. So these are those 3 plans. The self-directed plan is, you know, the videos only, access to community, all that sort of thing, is $948. You can get a payment plan on that if you like. All of these, by the way, have payment plans. And the way that you go through is, if I add this to cart, when I go through, you can see as I go follow through the checkout, you'll see that there's a payment plan they could choose. So I could choose a 3-month payment plan, a 5-month payment plan, or I could pay in full upfront. All right. Okay. So all these plans have payment plans. You can pay upfront, you can pay over 3 months, or you can pay over 5 months, whatever is best for you, right? So self-directed, like I said, $948, you can pay that at your own pace, right? The live classes, which again is our most popular one. This is where you actually show up live to the classes. You get to ask questions live. We'll spend a lot of time hand-holding, making sure that you get the stuff up and running, right? You know, it's really kind of like being in a classroom, right? Like, you know, when you sit in a classroom and you could actually ask questions to the teacher, you could interact with other students. We also have like study sessions that we do as well with our students. So everyone joins and kind of can share knowledge that way as well. So really it's like being part of a class. The difference is these types of classes you don't usually see unless you're like in New York City or San Francisco. It's very niche, right? So we obviously do them online, right? But yeah, the live classes are definitely our most popular. And then for those of you guys that really want that extra help, that extra edge, the project help and tutoring plan is the way to go. And this one, like I said, it's like a white glove service. We'll help you out in every step of the way. If you need any help along the way, we'll spend hours with you on the phone if we need to. We'll write code for you. Whatever we need to do, we'll do for you here with the project help and tutoring plan. We got a chat here. PT rules. So Brett asked, PT rules being what they are. One can only use an algo with an account size greater than 25K. Yes. No, Brett, that is not true. First of all, it depends on what kind of algorithm you're trading with. If you're using one that is doing day trading, specifically with stocks, then yes, right? But you can still day trade options. You can still day trade futures. You can still day trade Forex, crypto, right? You can do any of those things. So you're definitely not restricted in those types of accounts. And then a lot of the algorithms as well, they are not going in and out of stocks that quickly, right? You can if you want to, right? Some algorithms make money doing that, but then other algorithms make money just by making the right decisions, right? So for example, if we had an algorithm that's buying based off of what influencers say, right? That doesn't happen super frequently, right? So you'll get like one really good trade, you know, once a day or once every 2 days, right? And you'll make like a ton of money off that one trade, but you're not trading super frequently, right? And then again, like I said, you could be in different asset classes too. You could trade futures. There's no PDT rules on futures. You could trade crypto, no PDT rules there. You know, Forex options, right? There's a lot of other ways to trade. So you're not limited only if you have 25K in your bank account, right? That's specifically for day trading for options, right? Yeah, no problem, bro. Cool. Okay, so let me actually send you guys this page, right? I'm going to put this in the chat so you guys have it. You guys can follow along. So I put that link in the chat. So yeah, so that's our different plans. You could go through here, read about the course. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Basically, you know, the different projects that we're doing. You can read a little bit about myself. You can see our testimonials, right? But let me take you through some of the stuff that most people ask about. And that's first of all, our course curriculum, right? So this course, like I said, it's 12 weeks long, obviously excluding holidays, right? So I think this year we're going to be skipping on Christmas and New Year's, right? But 12 weeks long, you know, and then if Christmas, New Year's, right, then we end up doing 14 weeks, but it's okay because you guys are probably going to take a break anyways. But yeah, so 12 weeks long though, 12 days, we'll say. The first day is a course introduction. This is where we make sure you have your system set up properly, everything's working well on your computer. And it's also where we introduce everyone to each other. This is always very fun. Everyone gets to know each other in the class. Like I said, a lot of people end up doing projects together, working together. Everyone shares knowledge really well within these classes. So it's really a great way to get to know others that have the same sort of interests and passions as you, right? Then we'll do week 2 is a Python refresher. For those of you that are brand new to coding, we'll go through Python pretty quickly, right? And we'll try to get you up to speed as fast as we possibly can so you learn the things that you need to learn. For those of you that do have programming experience, don't worry, we don't spend a ton of time going through the basics. We'll spend a day here on the Python refresher, right? And then in weeks 3 and 4, we go into what's called Pandas, which is basically the way that you do data science in Python, right? If you're a data scientist and you've never heard of Pandas, I don't know what rock you're living under. It is probably the most popular data science library on the face of the earth. if you do data science, you know Pandas, right? This is the panacea when it comes to data science. So we're going to teach you how to do that and how to use Pandas. Basically, downloading data, manipulating that data, doing calculations on it, figuring out, is this the right way to do things? Like we're going to be going through a lot of that type of stuff with Pandas, and specifically in the finance realm, right? So that you guys will know not only how to do data science, so it's definitely a good skill to learn in general, very well paid as well. If any of you guys want to get a job out of this, data scientists get paid very well, and very easy job actually, once you learn how to do it. So you'll learn that skill, but then also you'll learn how to apply it specifically to finance, right? So we're going to be working with a lot of financial data, and I forget who asked this before, are we going to be talking about, how to do the finance side of things? We're going to be covering that a lot. And already in week 4, we're going to start going into that, right? Then we have, so that's part 1. Part 1 is just getting your fundamentals down, right? Part 2 is when we really crank up the finance side of things, right? So we're going to be downloading economic data from the Federal Reserve. We're going to be getting data from Yahoo Finance for stocks. We're going to be pulling lots and lots of different data on like options and futures and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to be manipulating that data and seeing how we can actually use it to forecast some of our returns or some of our investments, right? So we're going to work on that in week 1 and week 2 as well. We're going to get deeper into that. We're going to specifically talk about how to calculate your returns and that sort of thing. And then we're going to get into something called back testing, right? So back testing, who here knows what back testing is? Anyone know what back testing is here? It's a very important concept, right? So back testing, what it is it's basically being able to test how your strategy would have done in the past, right? So let's say I have a strategy that says, I'm going to buy the S&P 500 every single time it drops, right? That's actually not a bad strategy, by the way. I'll show you guys some pretty cool statistics on that in the course. But buying the dip, there's a lot of actual good evidence behind that to buy the dip, right? And there's ways that you can actually structure things to do that, right? So let's say that's my strategy, right? Then what I can do is I can get the past 20 years of data, right? Past 30 years of data, and check how would this have performed over that time period. Kind of like that graph that I showed you, right? This graph here. Oops, that's not the graph. Where is it? There it is. Like this graph here, right? This is a back test. This is if we took this strategy, debt trading, since 2012, how would it have performed versus S&P 500? You see that I was beating it almost the whole way through. There's one part where it dipped below a little bit, but for the most part, just absolutely smoked the S&P 500. Even in the bad years, right? Even when things got really, really bad, we're still beating them by a long shot, right? So that's what backtesting is, and we're going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you a lot of different strategies throughout this, how you backtest many different types of strategies, right? Everything from momentum, portfolio rebalancing, Reddit. We're going to go over lots and lots and lots of them, right? This is all the back testing. And so this is going to give you that fundamental knowledge of how do I get financial data and how do I use it to make money, essentially, right? Okay, cool. So that's part 2. Part 3 is all about getting all that stuff that we've done, all this back testing, all this knowledge that we have, and now let's actually start trading with it, right? So we're going to teach you how to actually take that stuff. And by the way, the code is the same. If you back test something, you could turn it right into an actual strategy itself, right? So it's very seamless to go from one to the other. And we're basically going to show you how to actually turn this into a trading bot. And we're going to make sure that every single one of you guys by week 9, every single person in the class is going to have their own trading robot working, right? This is by week 9, okay? This is week 1 of part 3, which is actually week 9, right? So we actually do a workshop during this time where I'll sit down with every single person and make sure that's working on your computer, make sure it's connecting to your broker, and make sure it's actually working. So everyone has a bot working on their computer, right? And then the rest of the weeks 2, 3, 4, we're basically learning how to hone that bot in, right? So I'm going to give you lots of different examples that you guys can use. We're going to take the types of strategies that you guys want to use. A lot of times we have in the live classes, it's great. We have these discussions where people will talk about, I want to build this sort of strategy. A lot of times I'll go off and, build it and show a nice demo to the class. A lot of times we'll have a discussion together on how to build that sort of thing. People maybe get into groups to partner up to build that sort of thing. But basically, within these last 4 weeks, it's going to be lots of different examples. It's going to be people presenting. You're going to see other people's ideas throughout. And we're all going to have bots working by this period of time, right? And then the last week, week 4, is actually a special kind of strategy that we're going to be going over, and it's a machine learning strategy. For those of you that don't know what machine learning is, it's absolutely amazing what some machine learning stuff can do lately. It's crazy. Basically, it's the backbone to artificial intelligence. The reason why your Alexa or Google work, the reason why we have self-driving cars, the reason why Amazon is so good at finding things that you want to buy on Black Friday. All this stuff is because of, or Netflix for that matter, to recommend things to you. All these things are based on machine learning, right? And if you can imagine that machine learning can drive a car by itself, right? Imagine what it can do to your trading results, right? It's basically artificial intelligence working for you to make investment decisions on your behalf, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that in the week 4 machine learning intro, right? We have an entire course, by the way, on machine learning that really goes from this and goes really deep into it and shows you all the details of how to do it, right? But here in week 4 of part 3, we're going to go over a pretty simple algorithm that actually works pretty well, right? And you could take the algorithm, trade with it if you'd like, and modify it, do whatever you want to do there. But then also, if you want to go even deeper into that, we do have a course on machine learning that goes really, really deep into the machine learning for trading side of things, right? Okay, cool. So that's the curriculum, right? By the end of it, every single person is going to have a bot working. I will guarantee it, honestly. As long as you guys show up to class, I guarantee you that you have a bot working by the end of the class, even sooner than that. I want to make sure everyone has a bot working by week 9, the latest. Usually by week 7 and 8, actually, we can get you guys to have a bot going. Okay, and actually, I wouldn't mind. I was thinking about putting a guarantee on this because like every single one of our students does it, as long as you show up to class, right? But okay, cool. So that's our curriculum, right? Definitely some really cool stuff in there, and we keep improving it over time, right? So when is the next class starting then? So next class, the registration ends November 24th, right? So registration's ending quite soon, right? The class starts on December 8th, right? So that's on a Wednesday, right? So it's going to be every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, starting on December 8th, right? And it goes for 12 weeks long, excluding holiday breaks. We recommend about 8 to 12 hours a week to spend on this course, right? If you can't spend that, then, typically you can, spread this out a little bit longer as well. You can retake the class if you need to, all right? And then every week we have about 2 hours of lecture time, say 2 to 3 hours, depending on how many questions there are and all that. So we have every week 2 to 3 hours of lecture time. And then, we have lots of stuff outside of class too. We have study groups to help you out. We have our discussion hour where you could talk about different trading strategies. You have your Discord, so you can get to know a lot of other people in the class too. And then you guys will be working on class projects as well throughout to actually reinforce your knowledge and to build this really cool stuff. So Brett asks, how many hours per week outside class would you estimate is required to stay on top of the class curve? With no coding experience, I'm concerned. I wouldn't be worried. There's a lot of people that go through his class that don't have coding experience, right? So believe me, you'll be in good company. If you've never coded a day in your life, yes, you will have to put a little bit more time into it. But that being said, if you can't finish in 12 weeks, you're more than welcome to retake the course. You're going to have myself as a resource. If you ever need to get on a call, I'm more than happy to get on a call and help you out with anywhere that you're stuck. Learning how to code, and for those of you on this call that know how to code, that it kind of goes in spurts. It's like you'll work, and then you get stuck, right? And then you don't do anything for like 2-3 hours. You can't figure it out. That's why we're here, right? That's why I'm here, to make sure to get you unstuck, right? I'm always available on Discord. You can message me. I respond to messages until past midnight sometimes. Where we can get on one-on-one calls, no problem. While you're going through the course, you know, we can share screens. I really spend a lot of time to make sure that everyone actually has the stuff running on their computers. I think it's important, right? And again, we also have study groups on top of that. We also have our discussion hour on top of that. So you're going to have a lot of support to make sure that you're going to be able to learn this, right? Okay, awesome. No problem, Brett. Great. Cool. So yeah, so that's our course starting in December. Make sure you sign up soon because the registration is closing soon. Also, right now we're having a Black Friday deal. I forget what the coupon code is, but you guys should have this in your emails. I could try to find it. If you give me 1 second, I can find you guys this coupon code because it's 25% off right now that we're having until I think the 27th, which is past the registration date close off. But you do get that saving. So I want to give you guys this Black Friday code so you guys actually save this money. So we'll go Black Friday and get your code. There you go. So here's the code I'm putting into the chat. This will give you an extra 25% off throughout the holiday break, right? So if you guys want to sign up, this is the time to do it. You guys will save a couple $100 using this code if you do it before, I think the 29th is when it expires, right? Cool. Okay, so that's that course. We got you the coupon code. We can discuss the course projects. We kind of went over this in the curriculum, but the first project that we're going to be doing is going to be making sure that you can analyze your investments. So it's going to be downloading data. You're going to be doing back testing. You're going to be trying to understand, is this a strategy that makes sense? How can I actually use it to make money? Right? That's what we're going to be doing in project 1. And then project 2 is going to be actually having a live trading robot. We're going to do it through paper trading at first, fake money, right? So to make sure that you guys can crawl before you, or run before you walk, whatever the saying is, right? Basically, we'll build out in project 2. By the end of the course, you're going to have a working trading bot. We'll start off again on paper trading, and you guys switching it from paper trading to live. Very simple. You can make that switch. It's literally one line of code, right? If you want to read about myself, read about me a little bit more, you can read about me here. You can see me on LinkedIn as well. You can watch a lot of videos. There's lots and lots of content of me out there at this point. So you guys can learn a little bit more about myself if you want to read here, right? And then, you know, again, don't take my word for it. Watch the testimonials by our students. We have a lot of very happy students. You could read their testimonials here. You can go on our Discord group and you could see, you can actually talk to them. You could chat with them here if you'd like, right? The alumni channel, for example, we're going to be having a pretty lively discussion today at some point because the discussion hour starts in an hour. There you go. So yeah, so there's lots and lots of discussions that we have there as well, right? So you go read the testimonials. You can talk to people on Discord. Yeah, and that's about it, right? Cool. So that pretty much takes us to the end here. Any last questions, guys? I like how you guys were asking questions throughout, but I'm going to give you a few minutes here if you have any additional questions about anything that we covered today, or you know, if you have any other questions around investing or algo trading or anything. I love this stuff. This is like, I have dreams about this all the time. So it's a very fun field to be in. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll give you guys some time to type them out. I know sometimes it takes a little bit of time to type out the questions. Now I'm also going to do is I'm going to give you a link to book a call if you guys are interested. You know, sometimes it's good to get on a, you know, that one-on-one discussion type thing if you have any questions around anything. So here's a link that you can book a call if you have any questions to learn, if you want to like learn a little bit more about anything. Right. All right, awesome. Thanks, Marcus. Yeah, appreciate it. Brett, and then here, I'll think of more and ask Alicia tomorrow and follow-up call. Awesome. Sounds great. Perfect. yeah, that book a call link basically goes, you'll book a call with Alicia or one of our other reps. So if you're interested in setting that up. Cool. All right. Well, guys, this was fun, right? It was definitely really nice having you guys on this webinar here. And I hope to see you guys in the course. It'd be great to have you guys on board. We could build some really cool algorithms together, and let's make some money, you know? Also said, I had a call with Alicia already. She was really helpful. Yeah, she's definitely very helpful. Thank you for that. It's great. Cool. All right. Excuse me. A little bit of water here. All right, guys. Well, it was, like I said, it was great having you guys on the call. I hope to see you guys in the courses, and I hope you have a great night. Thank you very much. All right. Good night.